There's the Buffalo Tremor getting ready to do battle with the Carolina Crusher. Earlier we asked Gary Porter about the new, bigger engine that he currently has in that truck. Carolina Crusher, second in the national points.
Well, I went to a bigger motor. It's 1,200 horsepower. It's about 400 horsepower more than what I was running. Has an 871 and injection on it, and the throttle response is just, I can't really get used to it, controlling the injection on it.
We're about to find out if he can control it now. Carolina Crusher against Buffalo Tremor.
Both trucks making buku horsepower. It's going to be a driver's track. Let's see what's going to happen. Half track is an even race. Crusher, he figured that throttle out.
Boy, he barely pulled it off. John Kwasniewski is coming, friends. Make no mistake about it. But you can give the victory to Gary Porter's Carolina Crusher. Army, here it comes right at you.
Well, he drove a good, smooth race. Trying to figure it out. The throttle at the very end of the track, he's finally getting a handle on it. Boy, that's got to be spooky having that much horsepower on a greasy track.
This is the man he really wants. He may see him later. David Morris, the equalizer, the leader for the World Championship in points. But Bennett Clark, Clydesdale, very confident. You talked with him earlier, Army. He thinks these are his kind of conditions.
He definitely believes that. The long wheelbase, he says, to his advantage. He is looking forward to getting a hold of the equalizer. And I guarantee you, the biggest fan right now for Clydesdale is going to be Gary Porter. This kid can really help the Carolina Crusher if he puts away the equalizer in this run. However, on the other side of the track, the kid out of the volunteer state just believes in himself, drives his own race. Let's see what's going to happen.
Coming out of the gate, equalizer, normally smooth, he's smooth again, and he wins it impressively. David Morris and the equalizer, well, that's a perfect example. You see problems for the Clydesdale, but that race is a perfect example of why David Morris is your leader for the World Championship in points. Consistent, solid, strong, smooth. He's got it all, and he got a win over Clydesdale.
Well, it looks like we got a dream race coming up next. You said earlier you kind of wanted to get a hold of Porter. He's going to be sitting right next to you in that next round.
Yeah, he's going to be tough. The track's getting slicker as the night goes on, so it's going to be a good race. I'm going to run hard as I can.
David Morris will be coming back. Scott Stevens, King Crunch out of Woodlands, Texas. And when we saw him a little earlier, he really got quite a run from the Jersey Outlaw. Put him away. Now he goes up against Nightlife. Dave Wysorek out of Grand Island, Nebraska.
Wysorek, the strong privateer. We told you about it. He's put some of the big guns away over the year. He's looking good against King Crunch. Stevens trying to come back on the other end. I don't believe he's going to do it. No. Wysorek, the independent, goes into that next round. Look at all the problems they're having shutting these trucks down, Scott.
Big win for Dave Wysorek as Nightlife gains points on Grave Digger and USA 1 today.
Well, Fishersville, Virginia is going to be a good night if for nothing else for points. The two guys right in front of you, 3 and 4, they're out of this thing, and you're closing the door on them as far as each round that goes by. You're pulling them in closer.
That they are. I can use the points right now. I'm 5th in the points, and if I can catch up, I believe the person in front of me is Digger, and I put him out earlier. So I gain points on him, and hopefully I can make 3rd this year.
All right, this is going to be an interesting matchup. Now, Mad Dog is out there. Remember, he lost to Wild Hair, his brother Bob, but that truck broke. Mad Dog gets to come back. The points go to Mad Dog, but it's a new driver. Bob Breen's going to drive it, and John Moore and the other drivers don't like it, Army, even though it's above board.
Well, the driver switch is completely legal. Like you say, the other drivers, they do not like it at all because it's the only rule that only affects the Breen boys. Now, Bob Breen, the problem is he's more of an aggressive driver. That's why the other drivers don't like it. John Breen's a finesse driver. Bob Breen's an attack driver. Look at this. He's definitely attacking that Ford to go into the next round. Chevrolet. Mad Dog puts a Ford on a trailer.
Boy, that was a great example of an attack as he attacks John Moore and Bob Breen gets the win.
This is kind of a unique situation down here. The reason being, part of the Breen Boys racing team, Bob Breen, won in the first round, but his truck was not able to come back. However, he comes back in his brother's truck, Mad Dog. What's going on up there?
Well, my brother knows his truck's got a lot more horsepower than mine. I threw all the belts off of mine and broke one of them so I couldn't come back, and my truck was hot. And he knows I ain't afraid to drive it if it's got a motor in it, so he stuck me in there to see what I could do with it.
How'd it feel to you?
I like the power.
Can you use that kind of power on this track tonight? You're going into the next round. You waited this far.
You got to feather it out of the hole, but once you get on the cars, that's the time to hammer it. And then after that, once you get your momentum up, then they'll usually stick. You can do pretty good.
We'll see you in that next round. You're looking good.
Thank you.
You can tell Bob's excited, but as Army pointed out, John Moore very upset about the way the driver switch worked out. We tried to talk to John Moore, but he just drove off the track. Maybe we can catch up to him on this subject in future weeks here on Tuff Trax. When we come back from this next break, We're going back to Bowling Green, Ohio for the pull-off. We asked David Banner what it's going to take to win that pull-off in Bowling Green.
Well, you know, the track, I'm going to be the fourth one. It's going to get chewed up. I think the guy that figures out the track the best will probably go the farthest because the track is going away. It's definitely that. You know, the first few went out a little easier than the last one, so we're just going to have to try to outsmart the track.
If you're looking for a mobile home, go where the selection is greatest. Plan on spending a day on Clinton Highway.
The Sassy Massey. Rick brings her down from New Hampshire to Bowling Green.
We're kind of keeping an eye on this young man, and I tell you why. 4 of the best tractors in America, kind of like a poker hand right now. 4 of these guys are going to lay the cards on the table. Is it going to be Chrysler or Chevrolet takes the win? We're going to find out right now. Rick rolls out. Oh, a heavy sled. The sled pulling real tough at Bowling Green. Look at the wheel speed. The dirt starts to come up. He's going to set the lead distance. Everybody goes after him. A good run. Awfully good. 246 and change.
That's what they're going to have to beat. 246.28. 3 of the best in the world of pulling will come after him. But let's see how Rick Ilsey feels about that pull. Army's over to talk to him right now.
The driver of the Massey Ferguson Industrial, Rick, you're sitting on top of it. 3 big guns coming after you. What's going through your mind?
Well, I guess the only thing I can do now is go and sit by the track and see if one of them can bump the flag. I mean, there's a lot of horsepower behind me, so hopefully Brian and John have done their job and I've done mine, and all we can do now is wait.
3 more to come in the pull-off. And Army Armstrong, the thing about the pull-off here is they've added a lot of weight to this sled.
What they did, they added about 4,000 pounds more weight. Now, the track is still 300 feet in length. It's the same claim. What you're doing, you're just having to muscle a whole lot more weight. All these tractors banged it past the 300-foot mark not an hour ago. Now they're struggling to get to the 250.
But it's enough to take the lead for Dave Walsh in the Irish Challenger at 253.89. One more time, he brings it right into your living room. Dave Walsh in the Irish Challenger is your new leader as he bumps Sassy Massey at least to second for the moment. A great pull from Dave Walsh in the Irish Challenger. Army Armstrong's going to talk to the big guy right now.
Well, we talked in the early interview about you getting the monkey off your back. You did that. Now it's on everybody else's. You're sitting on top of this thing with a 253.8. Is that going to hold on and win it?
I think it will. I think I had a good run, and it's going to take an excellent run to beat it, but I don't think nobody can do it.
All right, Mike Piper, Just Add Dirt, getting ready to go at it. Earlier today, Army Armstrong took a look at a very unusual tractor. And before we get to Mike, we want to show you the General, powered by 4 turbine engines.
One of the most interesting personalities you're ever going to meet in the sport of pulling is out of the state of Vermont. Goes by the name of Gardner Stone. That's the driver. The name of the vehicle is the General. The uniqueness comes from the fact that Gardner, you're not like anybody else in the sport with your theory on how to be competitive in pulling. Can you explain your theory to us?
Well, I've always gone under the assumption that I'd like to be different. I want to be different than anybody else in the sport and try to beat them with a different game. Before we tried Allison's, and they worked fairly well. We had a little trouble with reliability of the motors. This time we've tried turbines, 4 T55 Lycoming. Other people have done turbines, but not put that many in a tractor.
Okay, Gardner, you've only been out 8 weeks with the vehicle. Bottom line, is the tractor going to be competitive like you thought it would be?
Yes, it's very much very competitive. I'm very pleased with it. We've got a few bugs in it intermittently. We lose a motor going down the track. I think this is a fueling problem. But if everything stays together, this thing will put a run down. It'll be fantastic.
Not as fantastic tonight as it needed to be, however. The General missed the pull-off, going 282.52. That was good enough for 10th place in Bowling Green. All right, back to the pull-off. It's Mike Piper and Just Add Dirt.
We said it's like a poker game. There's 4 of them sitting at the table. 2 of them lay the cards on the table right now. The distance to beat, 253 feet and change. Let's see what Piper can do with it. Starts in the middle of the track. It's pulling him a little bit to the left. He stays hard in the throttle. Piper's going after it. He's got it on feel, but he's not going to do it.
242.42 will put him third right now.
Mike, you danced her to a 242.4, but you had to take a break, and that had to hurt.
Oh, it really took a lot of momentum away. I lost the blower belt, I think, off the front motor. She laid down on me and got all I could get out of her, and Dave made a good run, and I hope it holds up for him.
Here's the replay for Mike Piper. There's the belt, Army. You can see it pop off right there.
Yeah, he lost about 1,500 horsepower, right? Boom, instantly.
And that cost him third place right now. Still great, but the best he can finish is third. He may end up fourth because Dave Banner is going to try and knock him and the rest of them off in the Bandit. Army, here he comes.
Tell you what, if there's a love affair in the sport, it's between Dave Banner and the fans of Bowling Green, Ohio. Look at this. Banner comes out. He seems to have a lock on the clay. He's got it figured out. Screaming the Chevrolet engine. Look at this.
done it again. He throws that clutch right fist in the air. Dave Banner has done it. The Bandit wins the 9,200-pound modified tractor class in Bowling Green, Ohio. Here's Army with your champ.
Well, Dave Banner, congratulations. You know, it's kind of interesting. Banner sitting here with the same type of enthusiasm after winning many national championships as a kid would have after winning his first high school letter. Congratulations. These people love you in this town. That was a well-deserved win, Dave.
Well, I love these people in Ohio, too. You know, tractor pulling fans are the greatest. And when I can go out and do that in front of them and they cheer me like that, that's serious tractor pulling.
And it's serious enough that it warrants one more look. Dave